All About the Agricultural Land in Mexico, by Jonathan Dax Cooke. Did you know that Mexico is home to some of the most fertile agricultural land in the world? According to Jonathan Dax Cooke, agricultural production is a mainstay of the Mexican economy, and the country's favorable climate and soil conditions support a wide range of crops. If you're curious about what kinds of produce are grown in Mexico or want to learn more about this important sector of the economy, keep watching. Jonathan Dax Cooke provides an overview of the features of the agricultural land in Mexico as well as the agricultural systems used there. Jonathan Dax Cooke talks about the agricultural land in Mexico. Agricultural land in Mexico refers to the land used for agricultural purposes. It is estimated that there are about 19 million hectares of agricultural land in Mexico, which represents about 11% of the country's total land area. According to Jonathan Dax Cooke, the majority of this land is used for crop production, with livestock grazing occupying a smaller percentage. Agricultural production in Mexico has traditionally been based on small-scale subsistence farming, with families growing enough crops to feed themselves and sell any surplus on the local market. However, in recent years there has been a shift towards larger commercial farms as the country looks to increase its food security and become more self-sufficient. This has resulted in an increase in the amount of agricultural land being used for export crops such as coffee, maize, and sugarcane. The Mexican government provides a number of subsidies and incentives to encourage agricultural production, including cheap credit, tax breaks, and price support. These have helped to make the country's agricultural sector one of the most efficient in Latin America. Despite this, agriculture in Mexico still faces a number of challenges. Many small farmers lack access to irrigation and other modern farming techniques, which limits their productivity. In addition, the country's water resources are under increasing pressure from the demands of industry and urbanization. This has led to a number of conflicts between farmers and other water users, as well as environmental concerns over the depletion of groundwater reserves. Looking to the future, Mexico will need to find ways to increase agricultural productivity while also protecting its natural resources, says Jonathan Dax Cooke. This will require a delicate balance as the country looks to meet the needs of its growing population without sacrificing the long-term sustainability of its land and water resources. Jonathan Dax Cooke's concluding thoughts. There is a lot of agricultural land in Mexico, which has been divided into 4 types: irrigated land, rain-fed cropland, permanent pasture, and forest. According to Jonathan Dax Cooke, irrigated land is the most productive type of agricultural land in Mexico, while rain-fed cropland is the most common. The use of irrigation systems and technologies has allowed for an increase in production on irrigated land. Permanent pasture makes up the majority of grazing land in Mexico, with cattle being the main livestock raised on this type of land. Forestland occupies a large area of Mexico, but it is not always used for forestry purposes. Thanks for watching.